All right, hello everyone. Silver here. You're gonna get to watch menu. You're gonna get to watch loading screen today. But I did want to talk about uh I don't know if I had said this yesterday. But I genuinely thinking about skipping Lucia. Uh just because I don't want to have to pull her and her Winjin in order to make silly good. Not that I don't have a fuck ton of pulls that I could do, like genuinely. It's the fact that like I don't have oh, excuse me. It's the fact that like it's it's kind of like I don't want to miss out on the chance to get silly cuz then I also want Norma after, which is in 3.0. Norma is a 3.0 release uh which silly isn't too off from. That would only be I believe Valina and then Norma right after that. After S rank Billy. So it's like it's a difficult decision on what I want to do there. Cause there's a big difference in like Lucia versus Pan uh when you take it into like DA. There's a much bigger difference. Even though Pan seems very specific to Rupture, I'm just like I don't have another support Winjin, so I would probably have to get Lucia's Sig. I don't have another good supported Winjin, I should say, uh, for Lucia. That's my problem. Not having a better support Winjin for her. Because people tell me, oh, Kaboom works on her. But, like, I don't have Kaboom either. I just don't have it. A lot of people forget that I'm pretty new to this game. And they're like, oh, right, you don't have anything, really. Like, I keep forgetting because you have, like, Arya and Rokudo that you're new. I keep thinking that you're, like, that you've played this game for a while. Which is what a lot of Hoyo also assumes, is that you've played the game for a while, that you have certain amounts of characters. Which I think I've complained about before. But I can complain about it again. It really, like, would put off new players because you're basing content around having a certain limited time unit. If you wanted to base the like harder content around a unit, don't make it a limited time unit. You could choose like, oh, for something like DA, let's choose one of the 1.0 units that's stuck in the standard banner and then just use that as our basis to like, build off of. Or, rather, to, fuck, what am I trying to say here? Let's use a standard banner as what we base our content around. Because then you could genuinely say, oh yeah, everybody at some point is going to have this character. Because not everybody's going to have a fucking M1 Astra. Especially off-rip. Because Astra's limited. Unless you want to put her in the standard banner. If you're going to put her in the standard banner, yeah, sure, go ahead. Base all of the content off of having her. But having it be a limited character, it does feel very much like, oh yeah, we're just trying to bleed money out of you. Because you know the content is based around this one limited time character, and if you don't have them, at M1, by the way, so that means 2 of them at minimum. 2 of that character at minimum. You're just gonna be so much less than everybody else. You're not gonna be anywhere near close to any other player. And again, if they... fuck. For the DA thing, if they want to make you that, oh, you're trying to get to the top of the leaderboard type of thing, if they want it to be competitive, don't put free polychrome in it. Because that's just scummy. That's the kind of shit that, like, Raid Shadow Legends and shit does. You can have the free polychrome in easier mode that is more accessible to everybody, and then just make the competitive aspect of it simply competitive. You shouldn't incentivize people being like, yeah, well, or it's not incentivizing people being competitive. It's making it feel like players who aren't competitive are missing out on free polychromes. Which I guess is the thing, is they're trying to get you to buy new characters and certain characters by making you think you're missing out on, you know, something. Because I think DA gives a total of 300 polychromes, which is almost 2 pulls. And I think that's weekly. Not weekly, that's like monthly. Never mind. I believe it's like monthly that the DA is a thing. But there's also shit like Shield Defense, which requires multiple teams, because DA also requires multiple teams. So you can't, like, get into the content easily. At all, for a new player. So then you're constantly being... you're constantly behind other players. So it's impossible to catch up. It's just a lot harder to actually get to a state where you can do that. Where you can play the game, basically. I do need Shining Aria, probably. Jesus, why is it so laggy? Why did it lag when I came to Scott Outpost? This area should not be lagging. That's Shining Aria. Oh, and for some reason I'm nowhere near close to full energy. That's great. I'm gonna change my Aria build so I can actually be appropriate with this. The build I currently have is apparently for Suna. If you have Suna as your support for an Aria team. I don't have Suna. I didn't pull on her. Only reason I pulled on Arya was for Anton, and then I got Arya, like, not that many pulls in. And then Rokudo. I was like, well, I need Rokudo if I have Arya. Because you can replace Suna. Even if it's not optimal, you can replace Suna. And still rip through enemies. But yeah, I'm of a certain opinion with this game. That's like, I'm really hoping 3.0 is starting to bring it back. Because 2.x, the entirety of the season 2, felt very, what's the word? It felt like everything started going in a weird direction where it's becoming fantasy. I'm sure I talked about this. Where it's just magic bullshit. Rather than the tech shit that we had in Season 1. Which I'm hoping becomes focus in Season 2 rather than, oh yeah, characters just have magic abilities. I get Yi Xuan is supposed to be some type of, like, monk. But, like, the fact that she doesn't have a technical explanation for how her powers work. Because, like, Rina. Take Rina. It's stated that her floating and all of that comes from underneath her outfit. She has a suit on that has electromagnetism. So it's a genuine, like, explanation as to why she floats. We have a genuine explanation. It's a tech explanation at that. One that can make sense in a futuristic setting. Ow.
Is it time for my solo? Keep up with the beat.
Wow, these enemies are a bit tougher. Weirdly enough. Jesus. Fucking break. Damn it. Wow, these enemies are actually tougher. Hold on. Genuinely a lot tougher than what I was facing. There we go. But No, it's some of the like bullshit of this game kind of does upset me to a degree. Neither of those are good. Neither of those are good. Fuck. Genuinely, some of the shit with this game upsets me a little bit. Because it's like, uh, oh yeah, here's this really cool setting, right? Now we're gonna fuck it up by adding magic into the mix. And hope like retention is high. Because again, this game isn't like super charitable to new players because it takes so much to actually get to a state where you can outpost. I guess. Guess I'll join it. But it's just so uh, I hate it genuinely. I hate the whole idea that you're kind of just screwed if you haven't played this game for a long time. You're just kind of fucked. Because again, it makes it so new players coming in. Me, I could still say this, I'm still relatively new. But I'm one of the types that this game thrives on somebody who's gonna fucking slam their head on a brick wall until they eventually get through it. But for other players, there's not a ton of people who are just like that. Especially for a gacha game. Your casual players are just gonna leave. And then you lose out on that extra income of a ton of casual players who are like, oh, I might really like this character. I'm gonna try to pull them, real quick. I might spend like $5, but then not do it. And there's a ton of players who are gonna be like that. Who are gonna be like, oh, I'll spend like a couple bucks, and then not continue spending. Especially if they're almost to the pity. They're really just gonna be like, yeah, I'll spend a couple dollars. I'll reach pity, see if I get them. You know? Especially for a character that they want.
Do you have a secret you want to share?
But it seems like they're very much going into well, the whales are what we want to support. The people who are gonna spend a fuck ton of more of money, rather than the people who, the vast majority of people who play gacha games and then are not gonna spend a ton of money. They might spend occasionally, which adds up a lot more typically. Like FGO has a much better system, in my opinion, where it's you don't have to pull any new characters as they come out because they might be a bit stronger than the characters you have, but the characters you have are going to be able to clear the content that you want to. And it doesn't make it any less hard, I would say, because there's a lot of hard content in FGO. There's a lot of hard content. especially later on. You're not going to feel early on in the game with FGO. I believe it's in Camelot where the difficulty spikes up a bit, which is a decent portion into the game if you're actually like paying attention to the story. You're pretty decently far into the game before it ramps up in difficulty. And even then, that difficulty spike is no longer, like, super hard. It's pretty easy to actually get through that now. But again, it also has the fucking benefit that even in a low-ranked character, like a 1-star, is going to be good for you. You can make a 1-star really good. Whereas in this, your A ranks, there's only like one really good A rank and they're a support. Which is Nicole. And the only reason she's good is because of the defense shred that she gives, or whatever it's called. The debuff that she gives to enemies, which is like a 40% debuff, I believe. That's the only thing that actually makes her good. Where other characters, you know, they're kind of like...
We can go out anytime.
The other A ranks are kind of just there. They're not really that good. You're not going to be using them forever. You can use them in, like, story content and stuff, but you're not going to be able to take them into, let's say, DA without heavily investing into them and then also getting a ton of other characters that are, like, actually limited time and good. Because, like, if you wanted Anton, the best team for him a lot of times is Dylan and Astra. When again, you don't necessarily need to do that with FGO. With FGO, if you play it right, you can get through like some of the hardest content with a single unit if you play properly. A single 1-star unit, by the way. There are certain gimmick things where you can't use one single unit, but by that point, you've probably got way more than you'll need. Way more characters than you need. So there's no need to be like, oh yeah, you know, I've got to worry that I'm not going to be able to clear this one gimmick boss in the late portions of the game. You really don't have to worry about that in fucking FGO. Because, again, by the point you get to that, by the time you get to that point, you're more than likely even have enough of the free units. You do have to level up a bit of them. Like, you have to have a lot more of them leveled up. But you still likely got way more than enough with the amount of fucking pulls and shit that you get well before that point. And that's not including if you get multiples of, like, some of the characters that you are wanting to pull. Which are going to be the chase characters, I guess is what you call them. The characters that are like, oh yeah, this is a 5-star character. And I'm not dissing on, like, ZZZ. I'm dissing on Hoyo.
Is it time
That's for
for my
sure.
solo?
But I'm not dissing on ZZZ. It's actually a fun game. And it feels good. It's just the story is starting to get kind of mid. I'm hoping because it looks like it, when we get to 3.0, the story doesn't continue with the magic bullshit, that it goes back to the tech shit, and that Phylum Heights is the only place where, like, the magic shit happens. Because it's really, like, off-putting having the bullshittery with magic is off-putting.
Wanna share?
Genuinely. Oh. But either way, if you want to support me, you can support me down below. There's two links. One to my Honeygain referral code. One is my Honeygain referral code. The other is my coffee page. Honeygain is specifically for if you want something out of supporting me. It's a lot slower. Maybe every couple months you can get $20 out of Honeygain. But it's something that can support me a little bit. Whereas coffee is specifically for donations currently. I don't have plans to put any, like, exclusive content on there. But it is something that you can go to, and if you like my content enough, you can donate in order to help me raise money for better equipment and a better setup and stuff, so I can play actually, like, I can actually do more for you. Because there's so many different games that I want to play that I just cannot currently because of my laptop. But either way, I'm going to go ahead and end here. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.